You're tuned in to Pyrocryptic X News, daily crypto coverage on the networks that matter. XRP, XLM, XDC, and many others. Let's get into it.
Welcome to Pyrocryptic X News. Today is April 28th, 2025. We've got some key updates for you today. XLM showing a bullish breakout, an XRP ETF launching in Brazil, and is Bitcoin having its worst post-halving performance ever? We're cutting through the noise. Let's start with stellar XLM. It's definitely showing some strong bullish signs right now.
That's right. As of the 26th, the price was sitting around 0.292 cents.
And the volume's looking pretty healthy too, right? About $228 million in 24 hours.
Exactly. Pushing that market cap over $9 billion. And it's up nearly 3% in the last day.
What's really catching my eye is that it's trading above those key short-term moving averages.
Yeah, the 5-hour, 10-hour, and 20-hour. Holding above those is generally a solid indicator. It suggests buyers are consistently active.
So it's not just a random spike. The rising volume seems to back that up, genuine market participation.
Precisely. We are seeing some resistance building up just over 29 cents, though.
Okay, so $C.29 is the level to watch. Support seems to be around $0.26.
Correct. If it could decisively break past that $0.29 resistance, that could open the door for more gains, potentially fresh highs even.
And the technicals, are they supporting this bullish picture?
They are, generally. The RSI, the Relative Strength Index, it's moving up towards overbought territory.
Which can sometimes mean a pullback is coming, but in a strong trend.
Exactly. In a strong uptrend, it often just signals continued demand. Buyers are still aggressive.
What about the MED?
Also bullish. The MED line is currently above the signal line. That points towards sustained upward momentum. It suggests this trend might have some staying power.
Okay, good signals for XLM then. Now let's shift gears to XRP. Some pretty major news coming out of Brazil.
Yeah, this is quite significant. Brazil's main stock exchange, B3, they've launched the world's first spot XRP ETF.
The first spot XRP ETF, wow. Ticker is XRP-11.
That's the one. It's managed by Hashdex with Genial Investimentos administering.
So this basically gives investors, especially the bigger players, regulated access to XRP without actually having to buy and hold the coins themselves.
Correct. It tracks the NASDAQ XRP reference price index, and the structure requires it to invest at least 95% in XRP or related derivatives. Hashdex's CIO specifically mentioned it's aimed at sophisticated and institutional investors looking for portfolio diversification.
And there seems to be a decent global appetite for these kinds of XRP products already.
Oh, definitely. Mid-April figures showed nearly $1 billion in assets under management globally for XRP products.
Almost $1 billion, okay. And recent inflows were strong too.
Yeah, about $37.7 million in inflows just last week. And you've got analysts like those at JP Morgan throwing out some big potential numbers.
I saw that. They're predicting maybe up to $8 billion in net inflows if spot XRP ETFs get the green light in major markets, like the US.
Exactly. That suggests there's a lot of potential demand waiting on the sidelines, especially for regulated products.
Right now, XRP's price is around $2.20, just a modest rise recently. But the market seems to be betting on that potential US ETF approval as a major catalyst.
That seems to be the prevailing sentiment. Approval could really trigger a breakout. There's also that historical parallel people are drawing.
Ah, yes, the comparison to the gold market slowdown back in 2020 to 2021. XRP surged then.
It did, over 1,000%. And gold is seeing a bit of a pullback now after its own long rally. So some analysts are looking at that history and projecting, well, pretty ambitious targets for XRP. So we're saying even up to $24.
$24 is ambitious, but the underlying utility argument is still there too, right? Ripple highlighting its use for settlement, especially with ETF tokenization.
Yes, Ripple's head of Lamb pointed that out. XRP's speed and efficiency make it suitable. And this Brazilian ETF, XRP-11, it kind of provides a proof of concept. It has a 0.7% management fee, 0.1% custody fee.
And this launch comes after the Ripple lawsuit settlement back in March, which did clear up some of that regulatory fog in the US, didn't it?
It did help reduce some uncertainty, yeah. And early signs from Brazil suggest institutions are interested. Significant activity on XRP-11's first day.
Okay, definitely a space to watch closely. Finally, let's touch on Bitcoin. The narrative here is a bit different, maybe less optimistic.
Well, it depends on how you look at it, but yes. Compared to previous cycles, Bitcoin's price performance in the years since the April 2024 halving, it's actually the weakest on record in terms of percentage growth.
Weakest on record, even though the price is around $95,000.
Right. That $95,000 represents roughly a 49% gain since the halving. which sounds good in isolation, but historically?
Historically, the post-halving pumps were much bigger percentages. Like after the first halving, it was thousands of percent, wasn't it?
Exactly, close to 8,000% a year later. So 49% is comparatively muted.
What are the main reasons being cited for this relative underperformance?
Macroeconomic factors seem to be a big one, particularly high interest rates. Bitcoin tends to thrive more when rates are low and money is cheaper.
Because investors are more willing to move into riskier assets like crypto.
Generally, yes. There's also this general period of high uncertainty in the global economy that's likely weighing things down.
And Bitcoin did hit a peak earlier this year, around Trump's inauguration in January, near $109,000. But then it dropped back.
Right. That subsequent drop and the, let's say, slower recovery contribute to the overall weaker percentage gain since the halving event itself.
Plus, the halving had direct impacts too, cutting miner rewards in half.
Yes, from 6.25 BTC down to the 3.125 BTC per block. That, combined with rising mining difficulty, is putting pressure on miners' profitability.
So is the thinking maybe that the market got a bit ahead of itself, expecting too much too soon from the halving and the spot ETF approvals?
That's certainly a perspective some observers hold. They believe the immediate impact of those events might have been overestimated. The market expected perhaps a more immediate, dramatic surge.
It's a complex picture. Bitcoin isn't just about its own internal dynamics. The wider economy is clearly playing a huge role right now.
Absolutely. The broader macro climate seems to be a major headwind for Bitcoin's post-halving trajectory this time around.
Okay, so wrapping up today's key signals. Stellar looks bullish. Keep an eye on that $1.29 resistance. XRP gets a major boost with Brazil's first spot ETF, hinting at institutional appetite.
And Bitcoin, while still up significantly over the year, is showing its weakest post-halving percentage gain on record, likely due to macro pressures and maybe some over-optimism earlier.
Crucial points to track. That's all for this update from Cryptic X News. Remember to stay informed and always do your own research in this fast-moving market.
That's it for today on Cryptic X News. Stay sharp, stay informed, and catch the next drop right here.